So it's time to make some holes in that control panel. In order to figure out where I wanted to make the holes, I found a pattern online. If you do some searching, you'll probably run into some. I found one that I liked, and then I took it into a photo editor and I actually flipped it so that I could make the holes starting at the bottom. I made a bunch of little marks in there where the holes are going to be. I want to make sure that all of my controls actually fit the way that I'm imagining, because the bottom of the joystick is a rectangle and it's a lot bigger than what you see at the top of the joystick, and the buttons have switches on the bottom, and yeah, so you need to make sure they fit. And to do that, I figured, you know what, here's an idea. Let's start at the bottom, go up. Well, I mean, when I'm actually drilling, it'll be down. So my plan is to drill pilot holes through and then come back through with a hole saw from the top. I think there's less likelihood of marking up. Oh, another note. You'll notice that this is not painted or stained. I'm going to put a piece of vinyl. It's actually blue vinyl. Drill the holes, put the vinyl on, cut little slits over where the holes are. I need to route the edge for the T-molding. I'm going to fold the vinyl over a little bit, so be a little excess, and then cover it up with the T-molding to give it a finished edge. That's my plan. It can take me a little while to do things because I kind of have to think it through. I like to see a bigger picture before I start, and then reduce the number of mistakes. Not eliminate, but reduce, hopefully. Remember those mistakes I'm trying not to make? Well, I just made a little one. I pulled up one of the grains of wood. Is that what you call that? It's like a little sliver of wood. It's in the grain. Anyway, pulled it up and made that little line, and that's gonna show. I'm pretty sure that's gonna show. That might just be there forever. Probably put some wood filler in there, or maybe some wood glue or something. But I'm gonna try to be more careful as I'm cleaning these off. It is now a different time of day. It's a little bit darker. Do you care? No, it's the same time of day as when you started watching the video for you, essentially. A few minutes difference. Alright, time to drill out some holes for buttons. I've been looking forward to this part because I like pressing buttons. Yep, click them, push them. To cut out the holes for the buttons, I'm going to use a 1 1/8 inch hole saw. And that just attaches to the end of the drill. Whoop, like that. Beware, I make sound effects. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Let's start hole sawing some holes. Things are going a little slower than I expected. I think the bit's heating up a little bit. Maybe it's not very sharp. I don't know. Kind of smells like rat pee. And you say, Dan, that's gross. And I say, I agree. I'm not going to drill all the way through here, but I'm going to score the bottom so that way when I'm drilling from the top down, it doesn't blow out the bottom as much. So I'm done scoring all the bottoms of all the holes. Now we'll find out if that was a good idea. You can see that there's one hole that I already drilled out, and I did that one before I thought of scoring the bottoms first. And it kind of blew out a little bit, so we'll see if the rest of them do the same thing. I just noticed something that might make this whole thing go faster. Let's try that. Well, it went faster, but that, I'm guessing, indicates I kind of blew the bottom out a little bit. Come on. I think I'm going to spend more time with my screwdriver drilling these holes than with my hole saw. Just trying to get the wood out of the hole saw. I'm going to score all the bottom holes just a little bit deeper. But I'm not going to make you watch all that. All right, next time you see me, I'm going to be hole sawing all the way through the top. Okay, things are rocking and rolling now. Cutting like a third of the way through the bottom helped out a lot. Not only does it keep me from blowing out, it also gives me a little handle to pull the plug out of the hole saw. Hey, maybe it was a good idea. I like trying new things. Okay, so things I've learned and that were good ideas. Cutting partway through one side before hole drilling through the other gives you a little handle. And setting the driver to two, oh, and glove, at least one glove on the hand that's removing the plug. Now I've got to clean them up, clean up those holes, all the edges, because I need a nice surface to put the vinyl on. So there's that little blowout on the top that happened towards the beginning of this project. I could fill it in with a little wood filler. After the buttons go on there, on both sides, there's not going to be very much that shows. So I'm just going to see how it looks. I think that little mark there might show through the vinyl. I'm pretty sure it will. But I'm okay with that. I'd rather get this part done and move on. Sometimes done is better than perfect. I'm going to wipe the surface down with a slightly damp paper towel. Make sure all the dust is off of there, all cleaned up. Then I'm going to apply some vinyl. I am not a vinyl applying expert, but I have done it a couple times, and if I go slowly, I'm hoping it'll turn out okay. I'm going to apply the vinyl in the house where it's a little bit warmer instead of in the garage. I'm not actually sure if folding the vinyl over the corners is going to work or not. I'm going to take a little scrap piece of vinyl and test out folding it over an edge of a board to see if my idea of folding it over behind the T-molding is even going to work. It may be that the vinyl just needs to stay flat. But we'll test it out and see. And you know what? Let's clip this corner a little bit. Yeah, that's going to work. Alright, so about halfway through, the vinyl was kind of coming off the front edge a little bit. So I decided to pull it back up, but a little bit of the wood stuck to it because it's sticky. That's a pain. So now, yeah. There's a few little places the layer of the wood kind of came up on the vinyl, so I pulled it back up, hoping I could re-stick it and retry it. That's frustrating. I should have gotten wider vinyl. I think wider vinyl would have been better. Remember how I said I wasn't a vinyl installing expert, but if I went slowly, it might be okay? Well, sometimes even if you go slowly, it's not okay. I'm going to apply it anyway, and there's going to be bumps in it. And it's not going to be a great vinyl job. I'll probably redo it at some point. Maybe it's texture, you know? Maybe it won't be too bad. The good news is the rest of it went on really well. The bad news is it doesn't really matter that the rest of it went on really well, because half of it is pretty bubbly and nasty looking. Now I have to decide, do I just pull it off? Sometimes things just don't turn out quite the way you hope they do. But that's okay. I'm getting better at applying vinyl. I hope. The theme of today is 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Made some progress. I didn't get quite as far as I wanted to on this video, but further along than I was. My next video might be a fix video, where I fix the mistakes I made in this video. I think that might be where we're going with this. Thanks for coming along, and thanks for watching. I'm Dan with Make, Fix, Build, and I say, go make something.